Welcome. Welcome to another episode of the First Fruit Stock Club. Yes, 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 yes. Let's get it. Man, it's a great week. Hey, so of course, before I get into the finance thing and get into the woods of the finance thing, few things today. Let me just get so you don't leave um so you don't say, oh, but let me just tell you a few things today. I'm gonna put you I'm gonna show you my portfolio, my performance. I'm gonna show you a little glimpse of my six-figure dividend portfolio, right? I get dividends every day. All right. So I'm gonna show you that. I'm also gonna show you my options portfolio, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. I'm also going to show you my long-term portfolio. All right. I'm gonna show you that performance also. All right. So, but before I get into all that, oh man, today is my son's birthday. He turned 13. Yes, yes. He turns 13 today. And so if you hear some yelling in the background, they are upstairs playing a family game. I don't know if you guys know about this game right here. You know, I had to take this game Uno, right? So we have, there's different rules, right? And we believe in stacking, right? I'm gonna stack them, 4 on 4 on 2. If I have them, they're gonna keep coming. So I like to know, do some of you guys, do you stack or do you not stack? What are the rules you have in your household, right? And my wife, she tries to say that she can be. I whip on her all the time in Uno. Matter of fact, we don't even play anymore because she gets mad when I win. But I whip her all the time. But so that's why I plan to after this, I'm going upstairs and I'm gonna whip on my son and whip on everybody's playing Uno. So after this. So let's get into it, man. It's a lot going on with the markets. Man, it's a lot. So let's look at the markets today. All right, man. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, if we look at it, man, down 797 points today. Um, S&P 500 down 113 points, and the Nasdaq is down 536 points for the day. Right? Big drops, big drops. But if we look at it, man, the Dow Jones is still up. Now, remember, I compare weeks. I'm on here week to week. So, so as of last Thursday to this Thursday, the Dow Jones is still up 768 points, right? And 99 points. All right. It's up the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The S&P 500 is up 55 points, 55.80 points, right? And the Nasdaq is really the one has really lost a little bit of its steam. As you see, they had a little pop at the beginning of the month. It's kind of faded a little bit, but it's still up 17 points, right? In the Nasdaq. So, so it's okay. You know what I mean? So you cannot take one moment in the market. You always have to draw the view out so you can give a full perspective of what the market is doing, what's going on. And today's topic or today's title is called Bipolar Wealth. The market is bipolar, right? And you have to have a relationship with money that you're okay watching it go up and down, right? As long as it's trending, right? So it's up and down, but it's trending on the upside, right? Look at the Dow Jones, up and down, but it's trending up. Right now, it's on a little down. It's on a little downdraft. Okay, and we'll probably get into because I always preach that September is usually a time of year that we have to. But what happens is sometimes if September because of the rates getting cut and some of the different things we had in September, we weren't able to get that downdraft. So now we're kind of getting that, and also with all what's going on with the government and it's a lot of things going on. So and that happens in the market, but you have to be able to to have a sound mind and understand that on the long term, the money does better. But let me just say, let me just go back to disclaimer real quick. Information provided First Fruits podcast is for education and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial investment tax advice. Views expressed for the host. Investing in stocks carries risk, including potential of loss. The First Fruits Stock Club and its affiliates do not guarantee any specific outcomes or returns. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own investments. All right. So So we just have to have a sound mind when we're investing. We have to improve our relationship with money, and that relationship is that, hey, I'm okay if it goes up and down, right? And I'm so okay with it that when it goes down, I'm going to add more money to improve my base, right? Add more money to improve my base. And what happens is when the market does recover, that whole base goes up, right? That whole base will go up. Therefore, you have more shares, and therefore your portfolio becomes more valuable, right? So let me show you. All right. So this is my long-term portfolio. These are my core holdings for the year. Apple, Amazon, American Express, Berkshire Hathaway, right? Today they probably all took hits, but up for the last year, and I'll show you my long-term performance. We're up 40% in my portfolio, right? And we had a little help. Look, that W that you see is the the tariff issue on April 7th. So, we've probably been in line with the market in regards to maybe the Nasdaq, right? But we've outperformed, right? Because I have a tech heavy portfolio because tech is where it's at, right? So have if your portfolio, it should be have tech in it because we are in it. Ever since the pandemic, technology has taken over because people were focused on, how do we deliver services, how do we do everything, and we're not able to interact with each other like we did. So because of that, technology has taken over, chips has taken over, right? And Nvidia's in there also. I didn't include Nvidia. I didn't show that, but Nvidia is also one of my favorite long-term holds, right? And this is my portfolio. All investing involves risk. All right, so let's look at my option portfolio. All right, so currently, and I exited majority of these. GLD gold was up 63%. I sold that one. Open, I still own. We're up 36%. Nvidia is a option I have. Nvidia reports the 19th. So that'll be interesting. Man, people sleep on. This is one of my sleepers. I know I'm give it away, give the information away. TQQQ. Man, I love this. This options on this 100, the leverage of the Nasdaq 100. Man, I consider I'm the best at confirmation, right? Knowing when it's a good time to get into the stock. So if you stay into the end, I'm going to give you confirmation of what I feel like the market's going to do and whether it's a good time for you to buy stocks right now. All right. So we have Amazon. Man, I should have sold. Amazon had that great day, and I should have sold them, but I held it. So, but it's still we're out till March with these options, so I have plenty of time with that. Meta, man, Meta, we're getting hammered in Meta. All right, so that's I show you the good. I got to show you the ugly. All right, let's look at the ugly. Nvidia, um, we're down 4 points. Meta showed you 46.4 points. Amazon 10%, and Oracle down 68.4%. All right. So the other portfolio is the one I sold majority of those positions. But this is the recent positions. All right. As you see my picture of today, and these are where they are. So so yeah, that's the option. But overall, the option, man, I've been killing it. Options but I want you to look at the volatility. And when I tell you that in the market, you have is bipolar, right? Bipolar wealth is bipolar, meaning it doesn't go in a straight line. All right. So you can't get up in arms in these downdrafts. All right. In these downdrafts, that's when you can build up your base. Right. We can buy more options right now. Now I'm not giving and I told you I'm gonna give confirmation wherever I'm buying right now or not. You gotta stay and wait, stay to the end. All right. It's quick. I'm in and out 30 minutes. All right. So so um that is the option performance. And the last part is I'm going to show you my dividend. All right. And what I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you the stocks I own. All right. But I'm going to show you what's called a dividend calendar. Right. And in this calendar, these dots underneath all these dates show you that I get dividends every day. Right. And you can do this too. Right. And I'm telling you, you can develop a six-figure dividend portfolio, stock portfolio, and a option portfolio. And I say $33 a day. $33 a day. You can do this. All right. And if you don't believe it, hey, join the First Fruit Stock Club. I'm here to support you, right? And get you to the next level, get you some coaching. There'll be weekly calls, help you develop your portfolio. I will do one-on-ones also. All right, but it's group coaching. Okay. All right, to get you to the next level. All right, at the First Fruit Stock Club. All right. So that is the performance. That is what we've been doing. But we have to look at, like I said, wealth is bipolar. We have to be able to take the ups and the downs of the market. And they're not really ups and downs. They are opportunities, right? Opportunities for us to take our wealth to the next level. Opportunities for us to get used to the market so we can pass that on to our kids. So our kids aren't scared in the market. All right. So our kids aren't scared of the market, so they're not afraid. They understand that, man, I can make money in my sleep. This dividend portfolio shows you that I make money in my sleep. I get dividends every day. When I wake up, I get a deposit into my brokerage account. It's a dividend, right? And you can start with $33 a day. You don't need a whole lot of money. You just need a system, a formula, right? You need some support, right? You do need those things. Okay. So, and I'm definitely here to help you, but it's up to you. Or you can just, I showed you what I have. You can try to do it on your own. Also, that's always an option. But don't just ignore it. All right. Don't believe, even though we're out of um the government shutdown, they have to do this all over again next year, like in January, I think. We're all we'll be back all over again, and they could have another shutdown. Think about that. So you have to be willing to make a few different decisions, right? And it just doesn't have to be government. I was just reason Verizon is laying off 15,000 people. It's a lot of layoffs going on, It's a lot, and you never know. And I put all those people in my prayers. Hope they land on their feet, you know. But there are other options how we can support ourselves. If things aren't going wrong, and what's happening is as these companies lay off. So when you understand the financials, labor is the largest expense for most companies, right? Labor is the largest expense. So what's happening is that they probably believe that because um, people aren't able to, maybe didn't have a paycheck for about a month, I think, or a few weeks, right? They may believe that their sales may be down for Christmas because most companies, remember, that's why they call it Black Friday because companies are losing money all year. But at Black Friday is where they make the majority of their money, where they go in the black. right? Remember like when you were a teach when you were in school and teachers, you hated that red ink. See that red ink, and red ink means you got it wrong. But if it was the black ink, you got a lot of black. You have a lot of red. Then that means you did well on the test. Well, companies do the same thing. When they're in the red all year and they're trying to get into the black, right? They have sales, right? They lay off people. They do all types of things because, of course, they have shareholders, and the CEOs have contracts and they have to meet those obligations. And you know having in regards to employment and the cost of labor, if they can um, lower the amount of employees they have, guess what? Their profits go up as a company, right? They've been doing this forever. So we have to prepare ourselves no matter where we work. We got to prepare ourselves. That's why I built a dividend portfolio. I said, look, if something happens to my job or my wife's job, we still have income coming in that can handle our household, right? We don't really have to change our lifestyle. We can still do what we need. And that was the focus. That's why I focus on developing the dividend portfolio. So look, all these three portfolios work together. So when I get these option gains, right? I shift the option gains into either dividends, or they may go into my long-term portfolio to grow that. Okay. Or I'm trying to I'll take the dividends and buy more option contracts to grow. And I just keep recycling the money, right? And this is called the velocity of money. We keep money moving. Money stays moving, right? Money should never stay still because it depreciates, right? I think throughout the year, the dollar has depreciated like 10 or 20% this year. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was around that amount. So if your dollar's depreciating, then you need something to lift that dollar up. Not not including the cost of food and energy and car repair. I mean, everything. Everything. I was joking with my wife. It's like everything is $500 now. Like what used to cost 50 or 100, 500. That's what it costs, And it's tough, right? It's tough if if you're not preparing for those things. So I'm here to help you. I just showed you some information, you know, and you can go on your own and do it on your own, which is fine. Or if you need some help, I'm here. All right. So so that is it for the week. And this is the format. I'm going to show you my performance. I'm going to show you dividends for November, right? And Fridays is usually is where my dividends, and right now I'm working on really investing in dividends earlier in some of the funds and companies I'm to earlier in the week so I can get stronger dividends. So like Friday is usually a great day for release of dividend for the funds. So um and so I think that having a dividend, so having all three dividends you can use. I reinvest most of them, but I'm also, if I need to use them, if I'm hey, we going on a trip, which we probably will be planning on, or whatever we're doing, you know, um, they're there if we need it. All right. So man, I thank you guys for joining me, and always remember, man, the focus is the first dollars that come into your head. Like tomorrow, you get an opportunity to make a decision, right? A decision to change your life, right? If you aren't an investor, and if you are an investor, right, and you have a brokerage account already, and you're looking to add to that account, tomorrow you're working, right? It's a great opportunity. You'll be paid tomorrow. That's one thing. Um, um, that of course, if you're working, if you're not in government, you have an opportunity to receive a check tomorrow, and or if you're the government's open back, and you're finally going to receive some of your payments again. Let's make some different decisions. Excuse me. And a decision that I say that you can make is taking those first dollars, those first fruits, right? Which should be sacred. No one should access your first fruits. Your first fruits should be for investing and for giving, right? The first dollars that come into to your household for investing and giving. Tomorrow you get the opportunity to change what you have normalized as spending your money on things that won't produce the fruit in your household that you want, that can support you in a downturn, right? That can't help others. So tomorrow you get an opportunity to take those first fruits and do. But you have to make that decision. Last week we talked about the decision, right? So that is it for today. I'm going to enjoy my son's birthday. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Uh, if you want to know anything about, or if you have some um, questions, uh, feel free to hit me up and on my page or DM me. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week.